The steal of the 2025 NFL Draft? It might just be Chicago Bears running back Kyle Monangai. Kyle Monangai, a 7th-round pick out of Rutgers, has been a critical piece of Chicago's offensive explosion this season. I thought the rookie running back was one of the most underrated prospects in the entire 2025 NFL Draft, and he could very well be a long-term piece in Ben Johnson's Chicago Bears offense. But is he actually underused right now? Let's break down some of Monangai's game tape and take a look at his quickness, vision, and twitch. Then, the great Kevin Fishbain, our Bears writer, will join us to tell us what Kyle Monangai needs to do to play more in Ben Johnson's offense right now. Part of the reason why this is such a great draft pick is because everything Monangai does fits so well with Ben Johnson's offense, and part of the reason it fits so well is because Ben Johnson's able to set all these runs up better than just about anybody else in the league. We're going to see two shifts that mess with the entire defense here on this split zone run that Monangai cracks for a big one. First, DJ Moore, who's a wide receiver, is going to come down and play fullback, which is already weird. And then after that, we're going to see the tight end cross motion and settle right here. Moore comes down in motion, then you shift the tight end across. And at this point, if you are the defense, you are thinking, this looks like a loaded formation. Everybody's going to come off this way, block this way. It's going to be a hard shift to your right. But it's not that. Because as we watch this guy, everybody blocks in Ben Johnson's offense. Remember that. DJ Moore is going to actually be a fullback. He splits across, and then we see that tractor beam vision with the quickness and everything else there to get into the hole, and that's more than everything else is the quickness of how fast he's able to decide with it and then get his body literally physically turned, right? Right there. Quickness into the hole and then run the thing right off of the back of the tackle. The other thing that you like about Monangai is we're going to see him come into the open field here is that he finishes. He runs behind his pads, and we talk about running behind your pads. That's a forward body lean. His feet are literally behind his shoulder pads, right? Everything he gets is falling forward. He never gets knocked back. It's always more yards after contact. Hit right there, forward lean, gets him all the way up maybe 2, 3.5, or 2.5, maybe even 3 more yards. If a play is blocked for 3 yards, Kyle Monangai can get you 5 or 6. That's the consistency that he'll bring to the table, I think, for quite a while with the Bears. Okay, Kevin, so we just looked at Kyle Monangai's quickness on the field on tape here. Let me ask you this, though. How quick did the Chicago Bears realize this is a real player this season?
You know, talking to some people I knew around the league about the Bears draft, I don't think I'd ever heard so much praise for a 7th-round pick than I had from Monangai.
Was it a quick thing in training camp? Like, did he make an impact? It's one thing for them to talk about him, obviously, but did you guys notice him, coming in hot there?
Coaches hate the who is standing out to you question, right?
Right, yes.
Like every time somebody asks that in like May or June, I'm just like, they're not going to answer it. But you know who did answer it? Ben Johnson. I looked this up. It was June 5th. So you're talking early, your OTAs, and he's asked, hey, who's standing out to you? And he gave out 2 players, and one of them was Kyle Monangai. And we all kind of took note of that, like, wow, he's going to go ahead and call out the 7th-round rookie. You knew the coaches loved him, and you could see the vision and the downhill running as well.
All right, so we just talked about Ben Johnson motioning and fooling the defense with the motions and shifts and everything else. We'll watch him do it again here on another big run from Kyle Monangai. This is going to be an outside zone insert play, double insert actually, which is really cool. But it's also going to be away from motion. So we're going to see this receiver come across motion here, and the ball is going to go away from the motion. So we can see already with the motion coming across, all these linebackers are going to be either frozen a little bit by that motion or at least leaning their other way on that. We see an insert block right here. Receiver comes up through. Tackle takes the big on big here, which at that point, this, I think, really freezes this player and this player. That is going to give this Bears offense just enough time to create that extra gap out here. Because now as we see the play further develop, neither one of these linebackers is anywhere near the football in any position to make a play at all. So this is already schemed for like 5 or 6 yards no matter what, based on formation, shifting, motion, everything else, and blocking wrinkles that you get from Ben Johnson. The rest of it here is all Kyle Monangai. Following right behind the block, again, of Darnell Wright, right off his butt. And then beyond, when he gets beyond into the second level, the thing I love about him, you hear running back coaches and offensive coordinators talk about north and south all the time. That's what this is. Shoulders are square upfield, north and south toward the opposite goal line. And the other thing, again, that you love about him is he always cuts the ball back toward the middle of the field. He's not ever trying to press people outside. The more you can get a ball to the middle of the field as a ball carrier, whether you're a punt returner, a receiver, a running back, the more you can get the ball to the middle of the field, the more opportunity for chaos there is. The defenders are always trying to leverage you toward their help, and oftentimes on plays like this, their help is the sideline. So we see him cut back, and we see him pick up another 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe even 10 yards after contact, not only because he's running behind his pads, but also because he's a running back who's not afraid to cut it back inside no matter where he is on the field. Dane Brugler here at The Athletic, our guru, calls it tractor beam vision when guys have this, because it's almost like Kyle Monangai is like pulled to the hole.
This offensive line's making the holes too, so it's but you need to have a running back who's going to hit them. One of the things that wasn't working last year was the run game and the ability to just hit those holes right away. And Swift has done a phenomenal job doing that, and Monangai is too. Monangai is just able to see these things form, and the wide zone stuff, because we didn't really know what the run scheme was going to be. Like, right. I mean, you saw it in Detroit, the stuff they did with Gibbs and Montgomery. It wasn't going to be exactly that. You have Eric Bieniemy here as a running backs coach, so he comes from one coaching tree. You've got guys from the Sean Payton coaching tree, so it wasn't sure what it was going to look like, but I think they've obviously found their groove over the last month.
Kyle Monangai is one of these guys with one of the best nicknames ever. Last year, Nebraska coach Matt Rule actually nicknamed him the Matrix. In the Matrix, the guy always is dodging bullets and everything else. Nothing ever hits this guy. And that is because of everything we've talked about already. The quickness, the vision, but also the body twitch. And we're going to see that down here by the goal line. This is just a basic stretch play, nothing fancy. And we're going to see how fast, boom, he twitches his body toward the hole. And again, more of that tractor beam vision from him. The thing with the twitch is we can see he puts his foot in the ground and there's no lost movement. The ability to change direction without losing speed, body twitch in the hole at the line of scrimmage. You can see Nakobe Dean here, who's one of the fastest linebackers in football, get off that block from Darnell Wright, and it doesn't matter because he's already gotten upfield, gotten the body twitch through with the vision and everything else. Darnell Wright's actually gotten quite a few big-time blocks for the Bears this season. On this one, it's actually not going to go well, as he's going to kind of whiff a little bit on Nakobe Dean, but again, it does not matter because you see put the foot in the ground, body twitch, vision, everything else, finish in the end zone, easy as pie. Kyle Monangai, terrific fit for the Chicago Bears. Knowing what Ben Johnson was able to do in Detroit with multiple sets of back, you had a 1A and a 1B. You had somebody who was kind of the table setter and then somebody who come in, maybe a physical presence, whatever it would be. How much more does Kyle Monangai have to do to sort of establish himself as a guy that's going to be a long-term piece here with Chicago?
You know, Ben Johnson's going to be I'm going to give it to the hot hand guy. And so I think you're spot on with the kind of the 1A, 1B stuff, and they'll keep rolling with that. But yeah, I mean, if Kyle Monangai becomes the Bears' David Montgomery just by next fall, I don't think anybody would be surprised. You know, the funny thing is, Nick, is I remember talking to somebody, you know, kind of a ceiling scouting note would be David Montgomery light.
It really is. Yeah, that's a great comparison.
And so you can see maybe why Ben Johnson loved him and why it's been working out so far.
The Bears' decision to hire Ben Johnson and invest in the offensive line are the two biggest reasons why Chicago has made a huge turnaround this season. At the same time, finding a talent like Kyle Monangai in the 7th round and trusting him as a rookie has helped open this run game up even more for the surging Bears. I also think Monangai is the type of player the Bears can count on long term.